Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, and it's time for the playoffs.
Wild card weekend, folks.
So much can happen. What are your predictions? I want to see brackets in the comments.
Comment below what you think about what we are saying. Also, what you think might happen.
Today, you're gonna hear our wild card predictions with the scores, and then you're gonna hear our playoff predictions.
Yes.
So first, we're gonna get started. Let's get started right
There's
away.
6 wild card games this weekend.
Saturday at 4:30. It's the Browns and the Texans. The Houston Texans fought their way against the Colts to get into the playoffs.
And they made it.
The Cleveland Browns sat everyone last week
and lost
and got destroyed. They made it look close at the end, but it was not. 31-0 at one point. The Bengals dominated. And what's going to happen here? Well, a few weeks ago when these two teams played, it was the Browns coming up victorious with Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper having an amazing game.
That was that big Cooper game, right?
However, this time, folks, the Texans in that game
Texans have home field.
The Texans did not have C.J. Stroud. I think Will Anderson was out. Other players were out as well, actually. I don't think it was a ton. And they were in Cleveland. This time they're in Houston. I think the Texans are going to show up, and they're going to fight, and it's going to be a great playoff game coming down right to the end. And I think it's going to be Houston, folks.
Houston with the victory at home.
Off the upset. Or is it an upset? I don't know. But
I would think it would be, yeah.
I think the Texans are the team that... I think the Texans are more bound.
Texans going from last to the playoffs.
And Joe Flacco. You really think Joe Flacco's going to win a playoff game again? That would be quite a story. But my gut is telling me Texans.
Texans. Benny's going Texans.
And I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be back and forth, nonstop, tied at 17. Texans get the ball with minimum time left to win it, to kick the winning field goal, 20-17. Browns do go up 14-3. Texans come back, go up 17-14. Browns tie it up. Texans, C.J. Stroud, big throw to Nico Collins, and then that gets them in field goal range to win the game, 20-17.
All right. I think the Texans are a very young and exciting team. And C.J. Stroud is awesome. He's one of my favorite young quarterbacks. But the Browns are one of your most well-rounded teams in all of the NFL.
Besides for that quarterback position.
Yeah, but they got a veteran presence in Joe Flacco who knows how to win big games. And I think for that reason, the Browns are going to come out on top here. And I think it's going to be a great start off to the wild card weekend. I think the Browns are going to take this one 24-17.
Oh, that would be a good one. And now we got Saturday night, our Peacock exclusive game.
Yeah.
Why NFL? Why?
Why? It stinks.
Luckily, we have Peacocks like a new NFL. So we got the Dolphins.
But that's a drag to have a Saturday night.
And the Chiefs.
Primetime game only on Peacock.
This game is basically why I got Peacock. I'm glad I did, because these are good teams.
Did you know it was gonna? You didn't know it was gonna be this game. You just knew there was gonna be a
playoff game.
A playoff game. Is this it? Is there gonna be another one in the divisional round or no?
Damn, I hope not. I think there may be actually.
Hmm.
But we got the Dolphins and the Chiefs, and last time when these guys played each other, I think it was like week 7, week 8. It was in London. No, it was in Germany, my bad. And the Chiefs went up 21-0 at half. Dolphins scoring 14 points in the second half, but the Chiefs still won it 21-14. However, they did not score points at half. Since that game, the Chiefs have just gotten worse and worse and worse.
Right, the Chiefs are not looking so great.
Dolphins have also gotten a little worse.
Both teams coming in 11-6. The Chiefs have the home field advantage in this one.
However, the Chiefs losing momentum, I think they
gain it back?
Figured it out. I think they've figured it out, and they've been able to figure out how to win games again. They even won with a backup team against the Chargers last week. So who knows if they had Mahomes? They could have won by a lot more. I think the Chiefs here are going to be the better team. And as much as Dolphins winning would be an upset, keep in mind Mahomes is a much better quarterback than Tua. Tua's good. Mahomes is better. Tua just has the weapons. So that's a factor as well. But this is going to be, we're going to see some defense in this game. Not a lot of offense. And I think it's going to be closer than people think. But it's going to be a Chiefs win 20 to the Dolphins 12.
Wow. Only 12 points from the...
You know what? No, I'm changing their score.
Or even still.
I'm changing it to Chiefs 20, Dolphins 18.
Okay. Even still, it's such a high-powered offense for them to only get 18 points.
I know. Chiefs D shows
that
up
would
again.
be something. The Chiefs D has a knack for doing that in the playoffs, I'll have to say.
They do not get the 2-point conversion, and the Chiefs win. Chiefs have a 20 to 3.
The Dolphins could have gotten the 2 seed had they beaten the Bills, and they'd be playing the Bills at home this week, but they didn't. The Bills came back and won that game. It was a great game. It was the last game of the season. I'm about to now. Why?
I thought you were talking about this game.
No. So here the Dolphins now sit at the number 6 seed after leading the division for most of the year. And they're traveling to Kansas City. I do think Mahomes is the man. No question about it. However, the Chiefs have not, just like Benny said, have not looked the best the second half of the season. And the Dolphins have looked tremendous, with just a couple of exceptions. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game.
Could happen.
It could happen.
Time these two played each other, though, it was not.
Right, but every game's different.
Yes, that is true.
And I think that Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jaden Waddle and Mostert and A-Chain are on a mission. And I think they're going to get it done. They're going to find a way to dethrone the champs. And Taylor Swift is not going to be happy when Travis Kelce's season is over. But I think the Dolphins get it done. And it's going to be an exciting game. The Dolphins are going to win it. And it's going to come right down to the end. Dolphins 31. Chiefs 30.
Wow.
In what is a legendary game.
Wow.
Yep.
And now, Sunday at 1 o'clock, we got the Bills, we got the Steelers, and...
Bills now at the 2 seed. Steelers just snuck into the playoff. They're at the 7 seed.
And, folks, Steelers, I don't know what to expect from them.
You think they can even...
They got Mason Rudolph. I know Kenny Pickett is back, but they sat him the last game. It looks like they're sticking with Rudolph. However,
Really?
I think just the Bills, better team around. I think the Steelers are going to stay in this game, though. It's going to be close, but it's still going to be a win for the Bills. A very close back-and-forth game, 21-16 Bills.
This is going to be the first game of the Wildcard weekend that Benny and I agree on. I'm rooting for the Bills in general, at least so far. Without our Pats in the playoffs, we've got to go behind someone. And I like the Bills. I think they're a great team. The Steelers are lucky to be in the playoffs. They're not that good this year, but somehow they got lucky and they made it in. However, Josh Allen is a force to be reckoned with, and he is going to make a difference, and he's going to put the Steelers to bed. And it's not even going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly, folks. He's just going to make them suffer, probably. And I think that the Bills score a bunch of points on the Steelers. I'm going to look at 35 points for the Bills, and the Steelers really not competing, coming up with 17, a lot of points in garbage time.
All right.
Yeah.
And now, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. This could be the game of the weekend. This is
They
a
all
good
could,
one.
really.
This one, we could see some offense in this game, I think. It's the Packers and the Cowboys.
In Dallas.
Both
Packers
good
are the
teams.
7 seed.
Well, the Packers upset the Cowboys. So, let's take a look at this. Cowboys,
Interesting note, I'll say, is the first 3 games are the AFC games and the last 3 games are the NFC games, which is, I don't know, have they done that before?
I don't think so.
I don't know. That's a very interesting twist on this year's games.
Yeah, it makes it more interesting. Get it all done at once. So, Packers. Last time they played the Cowboys, they won. But Mike McCarthy, that was what Rogers. Mike McCarthy wants to beat his old team.
Couch, yeah.
The Packers defense, even though they showed up good against the Bears, it's the Bears. They're not gonna be able to stop this Cowboys offense.
Are a high-powered offense.
I think the Packers are gonna compete though. They're gonna keep it close, but Cowboys are just unstoppable at home. They're gonna make a good game though, but the Cowboys are gonna win a heartbreaker. I'm sure the refs will get in the middle of it and push it for the Cowboys to win because the refs seem to like the Cowboys.
Sadly so.
And it's gonna be a close heartbreaker. I think it's gonna be Cowboys 26 to the Packers 23. And the refs help the Cowboys win.
Well, the refs have had issues in the past where they've helped the Cowboys lose too. So yeah, haven't they?
No.
Haven't there been games where the Cowboys lost because of a bad call? Yeah, there was that playoff game a few years back.
Oh yeah. No, this year the refs have just been helping the Cowboys.
All right, well, we'll see. You know, the refs aren't supposed to be doing that kind of stuff, obviously.
Well, they do.
But I do believe that the Cowboys, being the high-powered offense that they are quite the team this year. And you're talking to a guy that's hated the Cowboys for most of his life. But this year, I like them. They're exciting. Dak is having a great season.
Yeah, you do.
CeeDee Lamb is a stud. He is a stud. He's awesome. And they're a good team. They're a good, well-rounded team, and they got a good defense, folks, just to remind y'all. I do think the Packers will play them tough, but I don't think they're going to beat the Cowboys, nor do I think it's going to be that close. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Cowboys come out on top 24 to the Packers 17. I like that score, I guess.
Alright, so crazy thing, if the Packers do win, they take on the Niners. That would be a good matchup. We'd see the Niners blowing out the Packers again. I'd like that. That would just be funny. If the Cowboys win, they'd likely end up playing the Lions, and we see a rematch of that game. Or they could likely play the Eagles. So many things could happen. Let's continue with our picks. Now we got the Rams taking on the Lions. Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff.
Playing against their old teams. Both of them.
Their old teams. And I think the Rams, they did go down, win the Super Bowl, and they talk about the Rams won that trade 100%. But then Goff these last 2 years has shown everyone why the Lions won that trade. And Goff just a little key factor of it, but I think Goff is more of a factor, and he's going to show that on Sunday night in a offensive game where each team keeps taking the lead and making it very interesting, and it's going to be an oddly scored but offensive back and forth game. Lions are going to win it, and Jared Goff is going to have the game of his life, 29-25. Stafford's gonna struggle.
Did Laporta go down? Did they lose Laporta?
Did.
Is he okay
this in
though?
mind. I don't know.
We don't know yet if he's gonna be able to play.
Keep this in mind about Jared Goff. For years, he practiced against Sean McVay's defense. Now it's gonna be in help to win their first playoff game.
Very good point, Benny. I think though this is the year of the Lions. I'm excited about them. The team is awesome with Dan Campbell. And I'm excited for Jared Goff to get his moment in the sun against his old team. And I do think Matt Stafford's going to play him tough. The Rams are great. They got that kick-ass running back. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Puka Nacua. Studley wide receivers. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth, and I think it's going to come right down to the end, and I think it's going to be an exciting game. I do think the Lions come out on top because this is their year, folks. Lions 37.
Wow.
Rams 34.
Wow.
In what will be one of the more exciting wildcard weekend matchups.
And our last game of the week, this game not that exciting, but
Monday at 8 o'clock.
The struggling Eagles losing
all of a sudden
5 of their last 6 games. And when they were 10-1, they had the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL.
Isn't that something?
And they managed to go 1-5 in that span.
How about that?
something's going on with the Eagles. Taking on the Buccaneers, which they were doing great. They did have a long streak, but then that did end a few weeks ago. Another win last week, a ugly win against the Panthers, 9-0 against the worst team in the NFL. Not very that impressive. But these guys versed each other back in week 4 when they were both 3-0, and it was the Eagles that dominated that game. I think 25-11 was the final score, and now we got them matching up again. And Bucks, I think
Baker Mayfield has really come into his own since then, though.
Yeah.
He's really learned to be a great starter for the Bucks.
Buccaneers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Sean White, they've been able to put it together. And
yes, they have.
I think they could show up against these Eagles.
I do too.
And this is going to be a surprisingly good game.
I think so too.
And the Eagles, they have A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, but they've been struggling. And this is probably the toughest one.
You think they're going to get sent packing like the Chiefs? No.
I'm not gonna.
No.
As much as it would show, I think the Eagles are gonna. They just won the Super Bowl last year. They're not getting bounced in the first round. It's gonna be close. I think the Bucks drive down, but the Eagles are gonna hold on, and the Bucks will lose in a heartbreaking fashion somehow. Eagles win it 23. For the Bucks, 21.
Wow. So this is an interesting one. The Eagles at 11-6 hold the first wild card spot with the 5 seed, and the Bucks, by the nature of them being a division winner at 9-8, have the 4 seed. So the Bucks are the home team here, which will only help. And I think Baker Mayfield is pretty fired up as their quarterback, and I think that the Eagles are on a downturn. But I do think the Eagles are not going to fall to a team like the Bucks in the first round of the playoffs. Will they make it past the next round? That remains to be seen. But at this stage of the game, even though they're on the road, even though they've been struggling lately, I think the Eagles find a way to get it together. I think they step up their game, and I think the Eagles win this game 27-24.
All right, and I'd like to say one thing. I want to thank him for not one-upping me this week.
Yeah, I did not one-up you. You're right.
Yeah. So now...
And then I want to also say the final stats for our predictions at the end of the regular season. No, it's nothing's settled yet. But this guy had a 10-game lead, and now I'm up by 1. He's got 152 and 116, and I'm at 153 and 115.
168, so we're missing 4 games on there.
We did miss games sometimes. We did miss games.
So you missed 4 games. We gotta go back and find.
No, we missed games.
I think we missed 1 game.
There were Thursdays and stuff that we didn't.
Oh yeah, good point.
There's reasons.
So we only missed 4 games all year.
It's right, but I caught up on that 10 game and I made an 11-point shift. So I'm up by 1, but we're going into the playoffs. We agreed on 4 of the 6. We'll see how that affects our standings moving forward. But either way, I love competing with this guy.
However, I still do have a 1-game lead over him because I nailed 2 scores. I nailed 2 scores.
That doesn't mean you don't get extra points for nailing scores.
Team winning, and that should count as a game.
No.
And that's why I have a 1-point lead. It's an argument.
No.
But let's continue with this video.
All right.
So I have the Texans beating the Browns. So it's gonna be It's the Bills and the Chiefs, Texans and the Ravens. And let's do Bills Chiefs first. I think.
Well, wouldn't we do this next week when it comes to the actual
I think
game?
the Bills win.
He's just
and then with the Texans and the Ravens, I gotta go the Ravens. With the with the Cowboys, and the Lions, I think the Lions get it done. And with the Eagles and the Niners. So it's Niners, Lions, and Bills, Ravens. I think the Bills head to the Super Bowl to take on the Niners.
Wow,
and the Niners will win the Super Bowl.
Huh.
What do you think?
All right, so let's see. My picks are, I got the Browns and the Dolphins and the Bills. So it would be the Dolphins versus the Ravens. I think that the Ravens would beat them handedly. And then it would be the Browns versus the Bills. I think the Bills would come out on top. So you'd have the Ravens and Bills. I think the Bills win it. to head to the Super Bowl. And in the NFC, I got the Cowboys and the Lions facing the... and then the other game is the Niners, and just like you, the Niners and the Eagles. I see the Niners coming out on top. I see the Lions coming out on top. Lions, 49ers. I see the Lions beating the 49ers in a Lions-Bills Super Bowl.
That would be great.
With a Lions victory.
That would be great.
That's my prediction this week. It might change next week.
The Lions are the team that I'm rooting for in these playoffs. Secondarily, also I'm rooting for the Bills.
Yeah, I like them both too.
And the Texans, I like.
Yeah, the Texans.
Yeah, they won't make it far. So yeah, guys, comment your predictions.
Down
please
below. Tell us what you think. We want to hear. We want to know.
You guys so much for watching.
Thank you. We couldn't do this channel without all of you. I mean, it's amazing. This video, it means the world to us. Shout out to our sponsors. This week we're sponsored by the NFL. Believe it or
not. Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. So we're excited to have them as a sponsor. And if you're interested in a sponsorship deal, please comment below. We'll have our people contact you, and we can maybe work out some sort of financial agreement.
Yeah, that will work.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe.
Right.
Go Patriots. And next time we make a video, will Belichick be fired?
Oh, God.
Answer that in the comments below.
I hope not. I don't know.
It doesn't.
They are saying that it's going to be his last game, so I guess we'll see.
Let's see. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.